In the news, Washington's cheery cherry blossoms. They're the surest signs that springtime and the tourist season have arrived in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. We'll be back with a look at Washington's cherry trees in the news.
In the News is sponsored by...
And now, cherry blossoms in the news. Signs of spring are always welcome after a long, hard winter, and the most obvious signs of spring in Washington, D.C. are the cherry blossoms and the 500,000 tourists who come to the nation's capital each spring to see this display of natural beauty. In April, Washington celebrates spring with the National Cherry Blossom Festival. The trees don't always bloom in time for the festival, but this year they were right on schedule. 5,000 cherry trees adorn Washington's parks. About 650 of them surround the tidal basin near the Jefferson Memorial. Another 700 have been planted around the Washington Monument. The cherry trees were a gift from Japan. In the early 1900s, this part of Washington was a swamp. After it was dredged out and dried up, the wife of President William Howard Taft suggested planting Japanese cherry trees in the area. And in 1912, the mayor of Tokyo, Japan's capital, had 3,000 trees sent to the United States as a gesture of friendship. The favor was returned 40 years later. Tokyo's cherry trees were in bad shape after World War II, in which the U.S. and Japan were enemies. In 1952, as a sign of renewed friendship, cuttings from Washington were sent to help revive the cherry trees in Tokyo. I'm Christopher Glenn with Cherry Blossom Time in Washington, D.C. in the news.